Okay, more about the HTC and the P910 against each other. Now, one thing I found really disappointing, I suppose, about the calendar on the HTC was that it doesn't really show you much information. Now, this is in the touch flow system. I've turned it off, so I'm going to turn it back on, which will show you the phone in action a little bit. Go into settings, customizing the tab, one of the tabs that I've turned off, and it does have this nice finger flow movement thing, which usually works pretty well. I'm going to turn on the calendar and select done. Takes a moment to think about it, and that brings back the touch flow calendar. Now if I drag across to the calendar, one of the things about this is if I click on one of the buttons or press one of the buttons, fantastic, it shows me the calendar. That's great. And we can go back to the previous day, to the next day, etc. Just here is the 2nd of July. I can press 2nd of July. It's actually not going to do anything, even though it's right there, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to go to the 2nd of July. I'm sure it's quite easy to program. No, I need to do this finger slide thing. No, in fact, the finger slide thing doesn't work on this. I just need to press that button, go to the 2nd of July, and then press that to access it. As well as that, this isn't showing quite all the appointments that I have on particular dates. It's a little frustrating. Now, the calendar in the P910 works a lot better in my opinion. It gives you a lot more information all at once. You can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all here, quite easy to access. The Today button, you can jump to the week, see appointments, you can hold on to one of these and see the start of the appointment down the bottom, and you can go straight to a monthly view as well. Very quick and easy to use. If I want to jump to a different month, just press the date, choose what month I want to jump to, what year I want to jump to. No, I want to go today. It's a very, very practical system. It works a real treat. I think it's a shame that, an old phone like this, 6 years old, can actually have a better calendar interface in it than the HTC. Now that said, obviously the HTC is the nicer graphics, but it's really the usability that I'm interested in here when I'm working on all these appointments. Now that said, with the calendar we can go to the Windows calendar. I can access that, let's see, by this programs panel, which I've programmed with the things that I use most often. There's the calendar there. This takes me to the Windows calendar in the background, which isn't really touch friendly at all. You've got to use your finger now if you're feeling lucky, or you've just got to go straight for the stylus, which once again isn't so convenient. I think it's a shame. The calendar is one of the most important parts of having a PDA, and it should be the thing that is programmed very deeply, and it's unfortunately programmed quite shallowly in the touch flow interface and not very conveniently in the Windows mobile interface. Now, another thing that I tend to do quite a lot is take voice notes when I'm walking or working or anything where I can't access a pen and paper, or can't just type something into the phone. I just want to say something into the phone and then process it later. Now, in the P910, fantastic. It's got the sound recorder. I want to make a new recording. Hit the record button. This records into a WAV format at a nice low resolution, but the quality is great, and all the buttons are easy to work with. You can record for as long as you like. You can record until the whole 4 GB memory card is full. There's nothing wrong with that. Officially it only takes 1 GB, but it actually takes 4 GB, the P910. The HTC, I was astonished to find that the voice recorder, if I can find it here, once again it's a nice flick interface, there it is. The voice recorder, not too hard to access, but only records 1 minute of audio and then it stops. Even though I've got a 4 GB memory card in here, I can only get 1 minute of audio, and I mean, you can probably tell I rant on a lot more than 1 minute. So that's really annoying. There's no reason why it needs to be limited to 1 minute. There's no reason. It's obviously programmable. It's obviously possible. It's beyond me why that's been done. As well as that, it saves in a format which I think is called AAR or ARR or something like that, which Winamp doesn't read, doesn't understand. So it's not convenient in any way. And in fact, I've had to find myself another audio recording program, and if you're looking for one for the HTC or any other Windows mobile phone, Audio Notes Touch, fantastic. Really like that one. Once again, profiles. The P910 doesn't really have profiles. You can just press this audio button, I suppose you'd call it, and just change the multimedia volume, change vibrating alert, or generally you just put it onto silent mode. So nice and easy to work with. That usually did the job for me. Diverting the phone's quite easy to do. Just go to phone, edit, preferences, accept call, and say, well, I'm not accepting calls from anybody. The HTC doesn't really come with any profile control, and of course being Windows Mobile doesn't really have a nice easy access to it. So if you're looking for a program that controls the profiles, G-Profile, excellent program. I think it costs about 20 or 30 bucks. It's definitely worth the money. It's a great program for controlling the profiles on your Windows mobile phone. I was gobsmacked that there was no easy way for me to control blocking phone calls, and there was no easy way for me to control the phone being silent. It's just beyond me that they don't program that in a very easy to access way on this phone. Task lists. Use tasks quite a lot, and the P910, fairly easy to access all these tasks and go into them and get a fair bit of detail. HTC, once again, not very easy to access these tasks, so I've got it here in the programs list, and I'll press tasks. Takes a little while to load up. There they all are. Much nicer interface. It could be easier to work with, absolutely could be easier to work with, but generally there is more information available in the HTC than the P910, and I should point that out when it comes to the contacts, that, and I can't show you the contacts because I don't want you to see all of my friends' phone numbers, but when it comes to the contacts, there is more information shared between Microsoft Outlook and the HTC than there is the P910. It's certainly sufficient with the P910, but the HTC shares a little bit more info, and that's true of tasks as well, where it will show the categories that tasks are in, for example, whereas the P910 won't synchronize the categories information. HTC's got an FM radio built into it. I should point out, by the way, I've been really hard on the HTC. It is a very, very good phone. I'm really enjoying using it. I'm finding it's very convenient. It's working really well for me. I'm just really surprised at the things that have been implemented and that work so well on a 6-year-old phone that still in 2010 haven't been made standard. And I should give it credit, 2008, that's when this phone came out. I think it was 2008, maybe 2009, but this phone should be at least taking the good ideas that are so easy to program from the P910 and incorporating them into them. There's no reason why it can't do all of the things that the P910 does as well as more. Like I said, I can't show you the contacts because I don't want you to see friends' phone numbers, but it's got a nice little interface where you can flick through or slide through all the people that you most commonly call. You can access a lot of information about your contacts quite easily. The HTC has a start menu where you can access the Windows start menu. This is not really a convenient way to access your items. You can't personalize it, which once again I'm really surprised about. You can't say I want to have this at the top or this at the bottom, or I don't want to see that. You have got a lock screen, which is convenient, and the lock screen on 6.1 has the advantage that, as well as unlocking it by sliding the slider, if you receive an SMS, another slider will appear with SMS on it. You can slide that will take you straight to the SMSs. But that said, it's showing me here my next calendar appointment. I've sort of changed the programming of the phone a bit to make this text as small as possible, because it used to show just a couple of words in my next appointment, practically useless. And all this wasted space, once again, there's no reason why we can't have 3 or 4 of the next appointments sitting there, and that will be much more useful. You can also turn the screen off using the button at the top. The phone's still active. It just gets rid of the touchscreen ability, so you don't actually have to lock it in some situations. Okay, look, there's a lot more to both of these phones. They're both very good phones, especially for their time. Not really much I can conclude, I suppose, except that they're great phones, and I'm glad I've got them both. Okay, thanks for watching.